How are you?
I'm doing very good. How about yourself?
Doing good. We're excited. Each year we talk about the Harold White
Yes.
Breakfast, which is it's coming up this week.
Absolutely, yeah. So this Wednesday, very early in the morning, 7 in the morning, we are going to be holding our Harold White Breakfast in honor of the legacy of Mr. Harold White, who was a community champion. So we have some very distinguished awardees that you can see on the screen here that we'll be honoring this year. And this is really the City of Jackson's premier breakfast. It's really great to see a lot of staff members, community leaders there in attendance, and recognize those who have given so much to the Jackson community.
This is incredible. It is early, but it's going to be worth it. It's the best way to start the day, right?
You get in there, get a nice meal, get your claps in, and then get to work.
Tell us about Harold White. Who's Harold White? The name of the breakfast. We're honoring Harold White with this award.
Yeah, so Harold White was one of really the main members of the Human Relations Commission going back in its history, who was involved in a variety of Jackson community aspects. He also was a veteran of the Jackson community, always stepping up when he could help whenever there was a need. Harold White was there, getting involved, lending his service, and really serves as a Jackson community volunteer. I'm blanking on the word here.
Well, the Jackson Human Relations Commission. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Of course, a role model was the term. It's early in the morning. Role model. But yeah, the City of Jackson Human Relations Commission really is the hand between the city government, the City of Jackson, and the local community. It's a body of local citizens such as myself. I'm just an appointed person to the commission, including everyone else. And we deal with a variety of things with the City of Jackson, whatever it may be, to help build that relationship between the community and the city local government with our local leaders. So we championed some local ordinances that we put forward to City Council, put out some statements overall, but it's a really great group to be a part of. I've been excited to be a part of them since 2020. At 18 years old when I got involved, and I'm really excited to see how it continues to grow and be involved.
He's now like a grown man.
Yeah, he's getting old.
Yes,
unfortunately.
Tell us about some of these award winners and why we are honoring them in particular.
Yeah, absolutely. I brought my list with me.
Perfect.
And I think first off, we definitely cannot forget Mr. John Willis, who serves as a commissioner on our county commission. John is an incredible member of our community and is one of our diversity award recipients, serving as our diversity equity chief of staff. Morning. our DEI officer for the City of Jackson. So we're excited to honor him. Mr. Michael Young, Pastor Young, who's very involved in the Jackson NAACP and Partial to Girls. We're very excited to recognize Michael. For our inclusion category, we have the MLK Diversity Committee, and they have been very involved in a variety of Jackson organizations. We can think of the breakfast that takes place every year. They help put that on. For a volunteer, we definitely can't miss this person. Miss Diane Washington is incredible. I've been involved in a couple different things she has had going on in the community, getting youth involved, students. She has the group Young People to Purpose, and it is very exciting to see variety of kids from the neighborhood get involved in the local garden. She has the Veterans Garden and such.
She's like the premier volunteer and organizer in the area. She's awesome.
She's everywhere.
Yep, and has the energy for it too. Where can I help? What can we do? And how can we get other organizations to be a part of what we're doing together? So when her name came up, I was very excited. And then finally, in our volunteer category, a group I think you guys can be excited about as well. People for Parks and Trails. Very fitting. I've been excited to be a part of People for Parks and Trails a little bit. I've missed out on quite a few activities this year, but I got involved in some previous years, and it's really cool to see how they have just taken charge to say, hey, we want to do more for our parks. We want to do more in Jackson. How can we get people to be a part of it? And that's what they did, is they reached out, and I've even seen their mailing list of all of these people who have signed up to say, hey, I want to get involved. I want to donate my time and just spend a morning in a park contributing, and that's been exciting to see how people come together.
I'm glad you're acknowledging them. That group is awesome. And it's not just one park. They're all over, and they pick all these little projects and really just kind of talk about what that does. It elevates the neighborhoods.
Right. Yeah, it changes the whole entire landscape. I mean, we've seen parks, I mean, even from like the mulch on the ground, right? You drive by, and some of these parks I kind of forget even exist, right? And you go out there and you spend a couple hours and you go, wow, this is a pretty neat spot. I might come back later. But it changes the landscape of the neighborhood, and it makes it more refreshing and encourages people in their own neighborhood to get out to those parks that they may have not been otherwise.
I have a few pictures from last year's event in case anyone was wondering, but can anyone come to this year's event?
Absolutely. You can get tickets last minute, so you got a little bit of time. Tickets, I believe, are $25 a piece. Like I said, it's this Wednesday morning. Get involved. It's at the Commonwealth Commerce Center. Actually, you can get tickets at the door. I remember that off the top of my head. I see some photos from last year's breakfast on the screen, and that was a very enjoyable breakfast at the MLK Center. Seeing everyone get involved there, and I think this year is set to be another great year, especially with the awardees that we have listed.
Well, Maurice, you're such a cool, dynamic young man. What's next on the horizon for you?
Next for me right now is I'm writing a book on some Michigan history, Black Civil War soldiers. I'm currently running off an hour and a half of sleep, which is why I'm a little struggling this morning, because I have a deadline coming up. I've played the game of I have time, time, and then I went, I don't have time. So I am hammering out the book as I speak. So that's what's keeping me busy currently.
So you mentioned the Civil War. You did the muster. It was a great year this year.
It was a great year. We had a lot of new things this year, which with comes new things comes more work. So that was very exciting. But we had some incredible volunteers, incredible sponsors that helped contribute. Always have to thank Trips Auto Shop for their help with the muster. But seeing all of the faces and joy on the community's faces is a pleasure for all of us to be able to see all the hard work go into it, the ball, the night firings, the root beer that was back this year.
Nice.
So it was very fulfilling, and we will see where the future goes.
Well, we can't wait to see what the future holds for you.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks, Maurice. Maurice Imhoff from the Jackson Human Relations Commission, and we'll have highlights from the Harold White Breakfast later this week. Stay with us, more of the show coming up.